Welcome to Why They Play the Game, a show designed to discuss the NBA on and off the court. I'm just one of your co-hosts, Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Ken Hayes.
Hey, my brother, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
It's been an exciting week of
Oh man,
basketball.
we got so much to talk about. So let's just dive right into it, Mike.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. Who have you what games have you watched?
Oh man, shoot. Let's see. Openers, the Denver LA game,
Yeah,
the Milwaukee Philly game.
yeah.
Uh, let's see. The Lakers against Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
Boston against Miami. So just been just checking out the let's just say the first full week
Yeah.
of the season. But
Mm-hmm.
if we can go into the Denver LA game, man, it was
Let's do that.
it wasn't that nice. And LA, they came out, started talking a little bit, even before the season started, uh, look out, Denver, here we come. Denver's
Yeah.
like, nah, I don't think so. You got to come a little bit stronger than that. So I thought, and I was surprised by the minutes that LeBron played, less than what I thought he would be playing. And that kind of came up after the game. But, I'm sure Ham will adjust that. Um, Anthony Davis, first half was looking like the Anthony Davis of old. Second
Mm-hmm.
half was on the milk carton, didn't score a basket. I'm like, come on, man, you got to be kidding me. And then the supporting cast didn't do a whole lot. So you got to give it to Denver. They came out, opening night, the defender championship, came out like champions, and they was on.
Yeah, I mean it was a repeat, right? I mean they
Right.
they they swept them last year. So yeah, I mean everybody talks about how LA had turned their season around and how but okay, let's just be honest. The West last year, they had some questionable teams in it. They looked good on the surface, but once you got down to the playoffs, man, you got swept. Yeah, you didn't win a game. And looking at Anthony Davis, when are people going to stop calling this guy a top 10 player in the league? Now, I've been trying to understand because AD has the talent.
Oh, definitely.
I mean he man, AD can get a bucket anytime he wants to. He got the talent. And you know what? I'm gonna back up here and say the problem I have with Anthony Davis is his non-aggressiveness. I mean, he relies too much on people to get him the ball, to get him a ball in the spaces that he needs. Anthony needs to be a beast because he can do that. He can take you off the dribble. He can pull up. He can post you up. He needs to be more aggressive, and I don't feel like he has that sort of personality, right?
He
To
just ain't
just
got no dog in him. Just put it
no,
that way.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anthony, I mean, he can hit the three on a let's just say consistent basis, post you up like you said, take you off the dribble. I just think maybe in the back of his mind, he's trying not to get hurt. That could,
Mm, mm,
subconsciously.
yeah,
That's just me speaking,
yeah.
But yeah, I don't get it. I mean, first half he was killing them. I was like, man, this is a new AD.
I
Second
can't.
half,
Yeah,
like I said,
I
it
can't
was like,
consider him a top 10 player, Ken, until he is more. I want to see Anthony Davis play a full year. I want to see AD come out and do what we all see in him that is possible, man, because that would be a beautiful thing. LeBron has only got okay, listen. LeBron ain't got long, bro. I mean, I'm looking at the King now. And the King, yeah, he can shoot a three every now and then. His motor in spots is still there,
right,
but man, come on. We know the real LeBron. Okay.
right.
And
Oh,
and
definitely.
at after 21 years, I don't care who you are. You're not going to be the same
Same,
player,
right.
man. And and he's got not much time left. And I think with a aggressive Anthony Davis, like you say, with some dog in him, then you can LA can do some things. But man, come on, LeBron can't carry them himself.
No, but the thing about it, you got to look at their supporting cast. They didn't do a whole lot to impress me. And I know it's only been 2 games, but if the let's just say these two games are going to be the trend, it's going to be an up and down season for LA because that supporting cast that they have is kind of like mediocre to me as far as their I'm gonna say I won't call it a demise, but their issue to me is going to be 3-point shooting, which has been their issue for the
Mm.
last 3 years.
You got D'Angelo Russell.
Okay,
You got Rui.
all
You
right,
got who else you got? My boy was he was the only one that was hitting the threes. You know what I'm talking about. I can't think of his name right now. But he was the one that was the only one that was persistent on the Lakers. I'll grab his name here. But
okay,
no, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you that their 3-point shooting is a struggle for them.
yeah, and Murray, and he played a good game. I just think Denver came out um, like they picked up from last year. It's going to be hard to, let's just say, dethrone them. I'll say this again. I think maybe Phoenix probably has the best chance of doing that. Um, with Phoenix, you got to look at the health. Bradley Beal and
Mm-hmm.
and Booker, they're not playing right now because of injuries. I'm going to say that's temporary. But Beal, I mean, he was injured last year, so I don't know if this is going to be, let's just say, a consistent thing with him. I hope
Mm-hmm.
not. Great player. Uh, that's going to be Phoenix issue is going to be, can we get everybody on the court all together? And then also the depth.
So let's translate to that game when they played Phoenix. But folks, first of all, go ahead for us and hit that like button, that subscribe, and that notification so you can get all of our content. And listen, the season just started.
Right.
We just we
We're just getting
we
started.
exactly.
It's
So
long.
Prince is what I was talking about.
Oh,
For oh yeah, he's been pretty
good.
consistent with his. He's about to be the only one that's been consistent. But going to the game, the Phoenix game, Ken. Now the champs, like you say, the champs came out and it was, bro. It was basically target practice. Like okay, this is not even. I don't even think it was very competitive. Phoenix minus Bradley Beal, Devin Booker.
Booker.
Ken, is this the trend we're gonna see moving forward?
I'm gonna say to answer your question, I'm gonna say no. I think um
Now Beal's back. Now he's got a
yeah,
back issue.
right. Booker issues with his, I think they said it's either his ankle or foot.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think I mean, it's a long season. Um I think Phoenix would probably be wise to make sure that they're healthy, even if that's for the first, I'm gonna say, 10 to 20 games. Um and make after, let's just say, after the All-Star break, um they want to have them, let's just say, healthy so they can get into this playoff swing. So I don't think it's going to be a trend. I hope not. But the thing that Phoenix is, they need to worry about is that depth. I
Hmm.
didn't I didn't really see anyone off the bench that can really contribute and kind of hold down the fort while let's just say their big three get rest. I mean,
Well, go ahead, Ken.
LA played better. The next game, I think LeBron played a little bit. He played more minutes than the first game against Denver. They shot a little bit better than what they did. So, like I said, LA is going to be, I'm gonna say, inconsistent at best during the season. You know,
Hmm.
one game they're hot, let's just say from the three, and other games they may struggle mightily on the three.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, LA needed LeBron James to play the entire fourth quarter in order to beat Phoenix without their two major stars. Not two great players, good players, two major stars. Okay.
That's not a
Okay, exactly. Let's look like, so we say Bill and Booker probably 45-ish, 50 maybe, can get 50, can get you 50 something maybe.
yeah.
So you losing, let's just say 50. You losing 50 points. And LeBron James has got, D'Angelo Russell's got to go to the bench in the fourth quarter because he can't handle it. So LeBron's got to run the point at year 21 to be, man. I'm telling you, LA is in trouble. Okay, they're gonna have to make. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm here to tell you, we'll see, because they're coming up, and we're gonna talk about your how we gonna say this, your 1B team, because we know the one team is the Bucks. We know that, but we got some B teams we like, and Sacramento Kings is the Lakers next. So let's see what's gonna happen when they run up on the Kings. But as you're going to talk about here in a minute, Ken, the Kings were kind of disappointed. But I want to transition just for a moment
Okay.
to Dame time. I just
How
want to,
did I know
man,
that was coming?
I just want to talk about, because you know how I've
I
always
know.
loved Dame, man. And let's talk about that Milwaukee Philly game, bro.
Okay. I'm gonna start with let's just say the not so good for Milwaukee is that they were up by 19, and I know teams make runs, and Philly is a good team, but the thing about it is that Dame took over. I think might have been in the second quarter, and then he took over in the fourth quarter, had 38. I was like, man, this has been my motto, is that Milwaukee needs to find someone who can get buckets in a hurry, on a consistent level.
Yeah.
The thing that I did like about on the Bucks side is that Beasley played a good game.
Yeah.
Who I would say that Crowder had a nice game too. Didn't do a whole lot as far as scoring is concerned, but he was consistent as far as rebounding, passing the ball,
Man,
and
he
just
hit a big shot, Ken.
He did hit the big shot. So I like that they didn't play Middleton a whole lot of minutes. Coming off his surgery, smart play.
About time, bud.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And I thought that Giannis was just doing a little bit too much as far as some of the shot selections and things like that. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, is that a lot of teams need to kind of look out, because Dame he on fire. He on the chip really bad, and I don't think he's gonna let anything or anybody stand in his way. But let me finish this. On the other side, Philly, Embiid had a so-so game. It was more the 3-pointers that they were hitting that kept them in the game. So you have to say, I'm gonna say kudos for Philly for staying in the game without one of their superstars. So I think Philly is going to be, let's just say, a competitor all year round. So it's nothing like that. You're gonna come into Philly and just take this game and get out of there. So yeah, you're gonna have a fight.
Yeah, I thought that Philly put up a very good game. My question is, Kelly Oubre, you gonna give me 27 every game? Of course not.
Nah.
But the ball moved more without James.
That's a great point.
I think they would have lost worse if James had been there, because those guys, Maxey was able to get in the flow. Oubre, even your boy Tobias Harris.
Let's stop.
He looked like a superstar. You see what I'm saying? He was in the flow, man, and it just wasn't that. That dribble in one play, shake and bake, come off a screen, hit MB while everybody watched, right? That really helped Philly. I'm not saying they are a better team without James. I'm just saying I don't think they lose anything without James, right? James is not their closer. Maxi's going to be more of that with Embiid. But getting to Dame time. See, this is what I've been trying to tell folks for years. See, you couldn't see Dame play because unless you saw him in the All-Star game, unless you stayed up late at night, 9:30, 11 o'clock to see Portland play, many people didn't see him play, and they heard about him. This is what this dude does. This is not – see, Dame knows two powerful things. He knows how to get to the free throw line, and he knows how to get a bucket. Those are, Ken, when you talked about Milwaukee's always needed somebody that said, I'm about to get a bucket now. Now, Giannis has been that dude. However, the problem is they just build a wall.
Right.
I mean, Giannis is the type of dude, when Giannis says, I want to get a bucket, he can get a bucket. We've seen it. The problem is that now you can't do that. Because when Dame say, I'm going to get a bucket, who wide open? Giannis wide open. Hey, listen, Chris wide open.
Yeah.
Man, Brooke hit a big shot.
Yeah.
That was a big shot, man, when Cogniton went through the lane and kicked it back out. But if you notice on that play, Ken, Embiid was following Giannis.
Yeah,
He was trying to, he was trying to, nobody wanted to leave. That's why even Crowder was wide open because they were following Dame and Giannis. And so what happens, these guys are going to get these quality shots. And if they knock them down, man, Milwaukee's going to be hard to beat. And this is what, man, fans need to understand this, Ken. Man, if you up by 19 in the first half, that means nothing.
No,
that's only good for the home crowd, right? We having this, we having that, because as we all know, NBA teams will always make runs.
Oh.
And so 20-2 run, a 16-4 run, man, that just changes the game with the three-pointers. So to me, the only time I feel like, yeah, this game is probably over, when it's like 4 or 5 minutes left and they up by 19-20. Okay, and then you still not taking your starters out because you can understand what can happen in 1 or 2 minutes.
But the thing, let me throw this in, is that when Giannis went on the bench in the second quarter, Dame took over, and the ball started to move a little bit better as far as when Giannis went out. And that's, to me, that's the, I don't want to say the criticism, but to me is that Giannis has to help this team and the other players, let's just say, stand up a little bit more by getting them the ball and moving the ball a little bit faster, because like you said, they build that wall. The other thing that I'll say is this, is that I thought Milwaukee's three-point defense was terrible. I thought a lot of those, they were open. I mean, to me, I call them open threes, in which I'm like, who's holding who? So it was a little bit of confusion on that, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Doc Griff even mentioned that. He mentioned that we after even the first half, he mentioned like we have to close out. We're not closing out. Like we're not committing to that. And that he talked about that after the game. But let me talk about this plus and minus stuff. See, this is what's killing me about these analytics, Ken. Because it doesn't include in the human element. Okay. I saw this. Giannis had his worst plus and minus. He was minus 13. When he went to the bench, and Dame, was plus 13. Listen, when Giannis goes to the bench, who goes to the bench on the other team? Their best player.
Right.
Okay. Normally, when Giannis is going to the bench, okay, you have second reserves in there. Okay.
Right.
And when Dame in there, that's the situation we want. We want Dame to go to work on those boys. But don't get it twisted, man. That somehow the team is going to move smooth or better or this, that, and the other thing. No, what Giannis needs to do, and I'm sure he's thinking about this and they're working on this, he's just got to learn, Ken, how to play better off the ball. I mean, that's what he's got to. He's just got to and it's going to be an adjustment for him. But slicing, posting up, moving without the ball. He's gonna have to, because for what? Giannis has been there, what, 11 years?
Yeah.
I think. So for 11
Yeah.
years, he's been what? He's been ball
I know.
dominant.
Right.
He's got to bring it up. He's got to. Ken, last year
He
he
don't
led
have
the.
to, but that's a different
Well,
story.
okay, but Ken, listen to this. He has led the Bucks in points, assists, and rebounds.
Right.
Okay, as a true four, we would say that from the four position, right? Hey, who else was gonna do that, man? And so what I'm saying is now he's looking like, man, I ain't got to do any of that. Like Dame can handle all of that. So it's got to be an adjustment for him. But they do have some sets where Giannis brings the ball up court. They got to have that balance, man. I think that's just part of the growing things. But winning cures everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
When you win, you willing to like, yeah, I'm good. If we win, as long as we winning, I'm good, man. Winning cures everything.
so
So
let me
we'll
say this,
have to
Mike.
see.
So tomorrow they play Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I'll be at that game.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good.
So,
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to give us the inside scoop.
okay.
Because Atlanta's gonna come in and get that beat down. Okay.
Okay.
That's what Atlanta about to come in and get that beat down,
Yeah.
bro. So let's move on, Ken. We had but I guess one thing I will say, just going back to the Suns. I mean, you did Eric Gordon. I mean, you got, of course, Grayson Allen, Josh Okogie. Those guys, they did well in the first half, but it was just the second
Not enough.
half, they just disappeared.
Right.
I mean, I don't know where they were, but let's talk about that game that you were very concerned about, the Sacramento versus the Warriors.
Just seemed like a kind of a repeat of last year's playoffs. Sacramento, they didn't as far as on a scale of 1 to 10, they played maybe a 6. They just seem out of sync, and and they're well coached by Mike Brown. Didn't Nobody could hit a 3 or just hit a basket, period. Fox kind of tried to save him at in the fourth quarter, but that was enough. Curry had a nice game. I mean, it was some balanced scoring. Chris Paul played well. Kuminga, he did a good job. Thompson played well also. I mean, it was just a team effort.
Yeah.
And nobody could get going for Sacramento. And then to me, after Fox, who you looking at? I mean, who you looking for to score?
So how did Keegan Murray play?
He struck. I think he was like maybe 3 from 10 from the 3-point line.
Because I watched the first quarter, and he had hit a couple threes, and yeah. So I mean, what about Harrison Barnes? Because he had 30. The first game he had like 30s.
30.
Yeah, he played really great.
Rested.
Oh, that's what he did.
No, let me stop. But he didn't play well. To me, he has a sizable contract, and I'm not sure why they, let's just say, didn't try to move him to another team to get, let's just say, somebody younger. I mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna say Barnes probably got maybe 3 or 4 years left in the league. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're correct. You're correct.
I just think, and then they didn't make a move, and we talked about this last week. They didn't make a move as far as any free agents or try to get, to me, let's just say, better. I'll put it that way. But
that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Right. And I think the only team that can stay the same is the championship team. Right. I mean, that's because you've already proven what the puzzle pieces you got can win. Right.
Right.
But everybody else, especially Ken, and like you said, we discussed this with everybody else, man, you have to improve your roster, and they just didn't. And but like you say, they gonna compete. They'll figure it out. But
right.
the question is, who is that number 2 player, like you said. Is it Sabonis? Is it Murray? Is it is it I don't know, Barnes? Who is that other? Because we look around and we see teams, right? We see
Mm-hmm.
teams that have multiple all-stars, right? So Fox is an all-star, Sabonis was an all-star, but we talking about different level all-star here, Ken.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we not talking about we talking about some dogs out there.
Right.
So I don't know who
So
it
let me
is.
say this: if I was GM, I would
Mm.
move on from Sabonis.
Mm.
He just, man, I was I was really disappointed last year in when they lost to Golden State. He just didn't play well out of
No,
sync.
he did not.
And then just not, let's just say, consistent enough for me. But
Mhm.
that's just how I look at it.
Yeah, no, he did not. And again, he's more of a traditional big guy.
Right.
He's gonna work, and we know the league has shifted away from that. But Ken, hey, I've been telling people, and I think you also been telling people this. Listen, folks, the Oklahoma City Thunder
Whew.
are no joke. Okay, man, I'm tired of people saying like, Oakland. Man, listen, Cleveland. I know Garland wasn't there. I get that, but you took the L in your opener, right?
Yeah.
You let OKC come in, and they play hard. They don't quit.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, but
man,
Cleveland bounced back though the next game. So
we'll we'll see if that when they get Darius Garland back, man. But SGA was amazing. Dirk was amazing, and Ken, okay. I got to. I'm gonna do it, Ken. I gotta switch my rookie of the year pick. Man, I've been tossing and turning, Ken. I even went to my therapist to help me out and trying to figure out if I should really
stop.
make this switch. I was on the couch just giving all the details. Man, I might have to go with Chet Holmgren.
Oh,
I might have
stop.
to, man. Because this is what I think. I think Scoot is watching him play. He's not gonna get enough opportunity to really shine. But man, I'm telling you, I know Victor playing ball. I'm gonna give Victor. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna tip my Bucks hat to him. But Chet has, man. Do you realize he has 7 blocks against Cleveland? 7 blocks, and he had a double double. I think he had like 21, 7. Something like 10, 12 board. Man, I'm telling you, that dude is, and he's really not a rookie this year, right? He lost
Right.
last year because he was injured. So that's but he is a rookie. And man, that dude, he getting a lot of respect from me. And
Okay.
even when he went up against Victor, it wasn't
Backing
like
down.
Victor like had him hands down. You know what I mean? So no, I'm going with my OKC boy. You
Okay.
heard it. Why they play the game might change. I change. Okay. I'm
Okay.
sorry,
But
folks.
no,
I did.
the
Forgive
only
me,
but the
Ken.
only reason but the only reason Mike changed is because he see him every night at
Yes.
home.
I
So that's why
seen him.
he's changing.
That's why I see this dude, man, and I'm telling you, Ken, this cat is going to be special. Chet is
Okay.
going to be special, man. He had, man, 7 blocks. I was like, man, he was throwing everything up out of there, man. And going to the basket, pulling up, he can shoot the 3. He can take you off the dribble at 7-1. Yes, this dude. So I know you still going with Wimby.
Yeah, you better believe it.
But that's a good choice because he looked good, man.
He did.
I'm
He
not
did
gonna
look good.
lie.
I was like, man, I was like moving without the ball, and out there by the 3-point line, and nice handle. I'll put it that way.
If
Yeah.
he stays healthy,
Right. Well, that's
Ken, that dude's gonna be something special, bro. I'm just there's no denying it, man. Like Paul George said, the man took 2 steps from the top of the key and like
dunked it.
what do you do with that?
You
I mean,
can't.
you can't do anything. He can turn around and shoot over you. You can't jump. He's 7'4", 8-foot wingspan, man. That is crazy. I'm
Yeah.
like, but I'm loving his game, man.
There's no doubt in my mind that the NBA is not going to let him get Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, you know that. See, Ken, you going with the narrative and the see, you didn't all went into the historian and all that, and yeah, you. I mean, I would not disagree with you at all because it is the what? It's the story, right? It's the
Right.
French dude that comes along 7'4", goes to San Antonio with that great tradition, wins Rookie of the Year, eventually becomes an all-star. They win championships. Man, come on, it's the narrative. But
Right.
but Chess said I'm writing though. Now Chess said I got my pen. No. He ain't the only one writing now.
Yeah.
Come on, Chess.
Shit,
Man, I'm gonna have to go
better,
ahead, kid.
do his thing so they can, something. Oklahoma City, they could, I, it's a possibility that they could be the number 3 team standing wise in the West.
Yes. All I say is this: that is not a night off. If
Oh
you
no.
think it's a night off, you will lose. Okay, and they're gonna play hard. They're gonna play consistent. And you know what SGA gonna do to you? He just gonna punish you.
Right.
Okay. And then Mitchell played well. He got
Yeah.
off again. He played real well. But let's look at this Central Division where we got the Pacers, the Bucks, the Bulls, the Pistons, and the Cavaliers. Well,
So
go ahead, Ken.
let's start with Chicago.
Okay.
Real quickly. I mean, we talked about them last week. They're missing ball. They're they probably will make the playoffs, play in somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But as far as
Play in.
yeah, as far as them being competitive, no. Ball, I don't think Ball probably will be. I don't think he'll be back until next year. Correct?
Yeah, I think he's out for the whole
Yes, whole
season.
season. So, I think Zach may ask for a trade before the All-Star break. That's
He
just
should.
me.
I think they should break that team up. I really do. I just don't think there's no pieces to build around. As much as I like DeRozan, I think I've always been a fan of his. He's getting up there in age. You're not gonna build a
Yeah,
team
yeah.
around him. You're
No,
not gonna build a team around Zach. Okay, who you gonna build a team around? I mean, they to me, they should be in the market for, you know, trying to. I'm not
get
saying they should be tanking games, man, but what I'm telling you, it's been a complete rebuild, and this is kind of what it shows you what it takes, man. Once you get to the top, man, you better ride that out until somebody
somebody.
punch you out,
Yeah,
okay? Because getting back there, like you said, they were good when Derrick Rose was there, and still tried to do some things, but Chicago has never ever recovered
no,
from the GOAT league.
no.
Okay. So I agree with you,
Mhm.
Ken. I think they probably will make the play in, if that. But let's talk about Detroit.
Detroit. Ooh, I think Bogdanovich, he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly when he'll be back. Kay Cunningham, nice player.
Mm-hmm.
Needs some other players around him. Um, they have Wiseman, who played for Golden State, but still, let's just say, figuring out and learning the game. They're not going anywhere. They won't even make the play in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Detroit fans, but nah, y'all better stick to football. So right about now, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not. I agree with you, Ken. I just don't. Jaden Ivey is with Detroit. He's a bright, future for
Future
them.
star, right?
But nah, man, ain't nobody losing sleep over Detroit, man. We
No.
we like if we just go in and play our game, we gonna win. Right?
Right.
Right. So
Let's
who
look at
else? Who
Cleveland.
okay.
Donovan. Um, need to share that ball a little bit more. A lot of times take some shots that's just unnecessary as far, and that's been his whole MO since he's been in the league. Um, Out of all, um, the whole team, the guy that I really like is Garland.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, him and
yeah,
Fox. I just like they two young guys who just ball, man. They can score at will.
yes.
Um, I would like to see Mobley just get a little bit better each year. You don't think so? I just think
I just never been a Mobley fan, Ken. I've
really.
tried to be. I just see big man. I like dominant big man. So I've never like finesse type of the only really finesse was the dream. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I like dudes that just punish you, man. I just never liked really. That's why it's hard for me to not just him, but when I look at other players, other big guys that like DeAndre Ayton, other big guys that are more finesse than they are aggressive. So
Hmm.
I just never, and I don't like him as a player, man. I've
But
tried.
but the thing about it, I'll say this: they picked up Max Struess,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
from Miami, gives them a little bit more 3-point
Hmm.
shooting, in which they need. So that was a good pickup for them.
Yeah.
They'll be in the mix. They probably will be that maybe when the end of the season, somewhere around the fourth or fifth, in the standings.
I would agree with you. Yeah,
Yeah,
right
so
around. Yeah, 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 right around.
between
Yeah.
them and the Knicks.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Yep.
then um, let's look at Indiana, which is to me out of this whole division is probably the most disappointing team for me.
Ken, is there
Uh,
still a team in Indiana?
but they got a
Is
lot
they
of
still there? Is they still there?
yeah.
I'm like, what happened to Indiana, man?
Man,
Terrible. But so you think
man, they got Turner,
mm-hmm.
Tyrese,
Yep. Hill.
Buddy.
Yep.
They picked up Bruce Brown. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the pickup was good.
Yeah, yeah.
That's some good talent right there.
But Ken, who is the difference maker?
I'm gonna say Buddy.
But Buddy is to me, don't get me wrong. Okay, don't get me wrong. Just like Mobley, don't get me wrong. Mobley's a good player. I just don't like his style, right? He's a good player.
Right.
Buddy is a good player, but Buddy is a 3-point shooter. Like they need a dude. They need a dude that's gonna come along and say, look, this is how we're gonna do things. I'm gonna get a bucket. I'm gonna control the floor of the game. Now Tyrese, now that's a homeboy now. I love
Ah,
Tyrese now.
man,
Tyrese,
I'll
I'll
take
take
Buddy over
Tyrese.
Tyrese. I'll take Buddy over Tyrese.
Man. Well, see, okay. The reason why I like Tyrese is because Tyrese is going to run your offense. Buddy needs Tyrese. Tyrese don't need Buddy. Buddy need to come off those screens. He need to be set up. Tyrese can do that. Tyrese is a true point guard.
Yeah,
That's
he
why I
is
love
right.
him. But I mean, they don't have to me, Ken. They don't have that guy in the going down the stretch that you say, I'm gonna put the ball in his
And it's,
hands and he gonna make things happen. I
you,
just don't.
I think you're absolutely right. I think Turner wants to be that guy, but
Mm,
for whatever reason, it's just not there.
oh, man, I don't know what Turner. Sometimes I see him play, I'm like, man, that dude cold. Then other times I see him play, I'm like,
Like, what are
what,
you doing?
what,
What you doing?
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, some games he will eat you up, man.
Right.
But Ken,
But
isn't that though the difference between the star and the all-star? The all-star is going to give you, and I'm not talking about all-star being selection, I'm talking about all-star player is going to give you that night in and night out regardless. Somehow they're going to give you what you need because they're an all-star. Steph might shoot 2 for for 12 from the 3-point line. He walking away with 20 something. He gonna get to
oh,
the free
right,
throw line.
right.
He gonna do whatever he got to do because he knows that's what he's got to do for the team. I don't see that dude in Indiana.
Mm,
So
okay.
what you think they're
Yeah.
gonna do this year?
if they don't make the play in, they need to bust that team up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Uh,
I think they're in the same position, Ken. A lot of like Chicago. I
right.
really do.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I don't, and I don't see people breaking their neck to
Go
want to
to
go
tell you.
to
uh,
Indiana, man. And then I guess what we got left?
we got the Bucks.
Oh man, oh
So
man, that's
you got your boy Dame over there.
mm-hmm.
Um, great pickup, great trade. They did give up, Holiday. But man, it just that the thing about it is that Dame just, took over the game. Drew was not going to be able to do that. That's
I
just
you the Ken, you right. The question any fan that said you should have kept Drew and not took Dame. Could you see Drew Holiday doing that in a Bucks uniform or in any uniform?
no, no,
No,
that's just
he's
not his
not
game.
that player.
No, he's not right. So no disrespect to Drew, that's just not his game. But Dame just gives you a lot of more variables as far as it, um team wise. I mean, he doesn't really necessarily even have to play the point. He can come off a screen or a pin down or whatever the case may be and score. So, but I'll say this to me, what's more important was the pickup of, I won't say more important, but a Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
is going to play a important part in this season. If he can stay healthy, just like everybody else, he's going to get a lot of playing time, and he can shoot it.
And Ken, we were excited when we heard about that
Right.
trade.
I was. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we texted each other when we heard about that
Right.
trade because Beasley, you know, man, he can get it. I mean, he can.
He can outright shoot it.
Man, and he can shoot it with you in his face. Like
Exactly.
I was listening to one of his press conferences, and he was saying he's got to get used to shooting wide open threes. He said he's never been in a position, Ken, where he's shooting wide open threes. And he said that's kind of tough. He said he's used because if you look at the real, man, Beasley's shooting over people.
Right.
I mean, that's he's breaking you down, stepping back, shooting threes. So just to be wide open, he gonna get a lot of those looks. In his defense, I think Marshawn also is gonna play a good role. He's come in, been very solid. I heard the young fella talk earlier about losing his confidence. I'm like, young fella, come on, man. You already achieved, bro. You in a
Right.
Bucks uniform. You know what I'm saying? What you been through in your life? Like you in a Bucks uniform. You a bad dude. Confidence. Nah, come on, Marshawn. You done already overcame, baby.
Yeah.
Like, man, believe in yourself, man, because he is a gamer, man. I love Marshawn, man. So
But let me say this before
mm,
we run out of time is that I
mm.
think I think Chris Middleton has something to prove,
Oh yeah.
and I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that just the time that he was in there, he looked good.
He
Um,
did.
so I think that it's going to be, let's just say, a season for him to
Mm,
prove that he's worth
mm-hmm,
being on this team.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
so
That's a good point because he's got to find his role with Dame there as well. Beasley's on a 1 year deal. You know he's got to show out if he wants to get paid, not just by Milwaukee, about any other team. Dame is like you said, he wants a championship. Giannis is always going to be,
yeah.
seeking that out. So you really have a team of guys that, they're hungry. They're hungry. So the Bucks win the division.
Oh, hands down.
Does
If
okay.
if they don't
Go ahead.
if they don't get to the finals, it's going to be a disappointment
Yeah,
as
yeah,
far as
it
I'm
is.
concerned. Let's I mean, you can't count on injuries for but if they stay healthy, somewhat healthy, they should reach the finals. If they
Yeah.
don't, to me it's a disappointment.
It is because that's the goal they set for
Right.
themselves. You know what I mean? People can say, well, they traded for Dame and Dame, expectation. No, they have said themselves they are here to
Right.
win a championship. So you're absolutely right, Ken. If they don't, but I think that will the Bucks have the number one record in the East?
I think so. I think so. I think this is going to be between them and Boston. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of who can win the close
Hmm.
games. That's what it's
Yeah.
going to come down to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Last few minutes, Ken. Well, great show. We got games coming on tonight and tomorrow, folks. The NBA season is back.
yeah,
And we are excited. Tell us which games you watched and what was your observations about the games you watched? What game we want to do a game of the week? What game
yeah,
would you like us to watch and to break down and give some more attention to? We would love to hear your comments. Folks, the world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity in our everyday life. This is why they play the game.